bring in the big boss, please?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it. Let's bring him in. That's what we always used to call him. Because he was the boss. Yeah.
The knob.
Yeah, so let's bring him in. Okay, so generally the gentleman family would bring one in.
Yeah.
How many people do you need? Because we also have Freddie, Neil, James can help, and you guys, so you've got 5 guys.
Yes, and if you guys want to, you certainly can. You don't have to,
No,
if you want to.
Yeah, like you guys need to help bring in the big boss.
Okay.
Freddie, you too.
All right, guys, you gotta get on your knees.
Yeah. Just stand underneath.
Just walking underneath. So yeah, so your guys can give you a hand.
All right, so at that point, with that said, we're going to step out and we're going to bring that in.
Okay.
It's easier with more gentlemen, so it's no problem. Okay, so you'll take the casket by the handles, you'll stand in your spot, pass the handles down to the person next to you.
Got it.
Just be sure the further out the casket comes, the heavier it will be. We'll place onto this platform here. I'll have you take a step back, we'll make sure everything's even, and then we'll proceed in first with the head end of the casket.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to take by the handles. Be sure to lift as you pull out, pass the handles to the person next to you.
Okay.
Alright, and if you just take a step back for me so I can have a look.
Just gonna make a little adjustment.
And we might want to bring the casket down just a smidge. So
Okay.
if you could just lift and go. Alright, good. Just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Yes, it's okay. That's better. Okay. So again, we'll bring him into the chapel with the head end of the casket first. You can take by the handles and we'll just push. Yes.
I think I just heard him say, ho, ho.
We're going to bring the head end of the casket here towards the priest, and we're going to leave enough room to walk around.
All right, so turn your foot in that one. That should be good.
And at the end of the ceremony, we'll have you come back up and escort down the hall for the cremation.
Okay.
Alright? And it's okay to open the casket?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, no problem, so you can all take a step back.
And then this is the book for intensive lesson. So for 6 times we will do this is a version. And then 6 times water 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Taking this from water like this in the line. And it is very special to the form like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6 times. And then with one by one we will be applying this. And it goes like this on the top of the leaf. And then once this is placed there, once it is placed on the top of this.
You'll walk me through this one?
Yeah,
Step
and then milk on the top of this over there, and the brother is going to take care of the rest of the things. He's going to offer everything on the top of this. And that's what we do. You'll be fine, don't worry. And when we do the puja here, we need to have the shoes off.
Okay. And then do I put everything on one before
You
I
can
move
start
to
in
the
either order.
next?
You can start from there, you can start from here, you can start from here. But it has to go. There is no order.
Okay. And it's just this here,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Don't worry. You're fine. You can take your time, don't worry. So all the members, please come around Jagdish ji. One by one, 1, 2, 3, all around. Brothers, you can also sit by, stand by brother. And suppose we are in Malsar's house in Punjab.
Yes.
And we are doing cremation from there. Imagine like that. You can take one each. I have some more. So before we go to crematory, we give him a holy bath. The bath is already given, but with using Ganga Jal, if you can do abhishek like this, sprinkling water. Om Apo Hishtamayo Bhuvasthano Jegatana Mahiranai Jatsase Yuvahasivatamo Rasasasya Bhade Vinhana Ushakini Vamatara Tasma Arangamaho Yashasya Vayajitmatam Apo Janayata Janam Om Tirthani Pracharanti Sreka Hastani Kamvinahati Tatpu Sahstrayu Janiva Tanvani Tanmasi Om Bhurvasvaham Jagdish Preta Pretasya Tirthodaka Snanam Samarpayami. Okay, now using this Chandan, oh sorry, I forgot. Tulsi and Ganga Jal goes in his mouth. Om idam Vishnu vichakrame dandade padam samudamasya praku sureswaham. Om Bhurvasvaham, if you can open it, brother will place it. Om Bhurvasva Jagdish Pretasya. It will go like that. Jagdish Pretasya Tirthodaka Snanam Samarpayami Tulsi Dalam Samarpayami. Okay, that's fine. And now the rest of the Ganga Jal, I keep it here. In case somebody, family members want to put Ganga Jal in his mouth, he can use it like that. And now, Tika, using this finger. Om Tvam Gandharva Akhanam Swamidrastam Brahaspati Tvam Khadeso Moraja Vivanyam Shmadam Chetan Om Bhurvasvaham Jagdish Pretasya Tirthodaka Snanam Samarpayami Gandham Samarpayami. You can take one. Anybody else is left here? You can put it inside there. Now take this. And now everybody needs to make a room here, closer. Whatever you have in your hand, when I say Swaha, you can offer it to Jagdish. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Om Prajapataye Swaha Idam Prajapataye Namama.
Everyone can.
Om Indraya Swaha Idam Indraya Namama. Om Agnaye Swaha Idam Agnaye Namama. Om Somai Swaha Idam Somai Namama.
Yeah, everyone can.
Om Yamai Swaha Idam Yamai Namama. Om Mrityave Swaha Idam Mrityave Namama. Om Brahmane Swaha Idam Brahmane Namama. Om Bhuh Swaha Idam Agnaye Namama. Om Bhuvah Swaha Idam Vaive Namama. Om Swaha Swaha Idam Suryaye Namama. Now instead of Swaha, it's going to be Kalpatan. When I say Kalpatan, you can offer it to dead. Om Ayur Jagnena Kalpatan. Om Prano Jagnena Kalpatan. Om Chakshur Jagnena Kalpatan. Om Shotram Jagnena Kalpatan. Om Vat Jagdina Kalpatam, Om Mano Jagdina Kalpatam, Om Atma Jagdina Kalpatam, Om Brahma Jagdina Kalpatam, Om Jyotir Jagdina Kalpatam, Om Swar Jagdina Kalpatam, Om Preshtam Jagdina Kalpatam, Om Jagno Jagdina Kalpatam. In case something is left in the bowl, you can take it out in the right hand. And when I say Swaha, you can offer everything to this thing. Om Bhur Swaha Swaha Idam Prajapatay Namama. And then you can place the bowl here. And everybody please take the chair, except 2 sons and 2 daughters. You can stay here with me. Now these 2 coconuts go in the 4 corners. These 2 coconuts go in the 4 corners. One goes in this corner. And now the butter ghee, last one. It is a ghee butter. So if you can touch it for and hold it like that. Om Asvatva Madhijatu Sikvadayam Jhayatam Punapasvardaya Lokaya Swaha Jwalu Patake Om Bhuvah Swaha Ilam Prajapataya Namama. Then it goes here. Now, if you can take your shoes off somewhere in the corner. And one of you like to go into the and this one. Om Chandrama Manaso Jatasa Soho Suryo Ajayata Shotra Vaishya Pranashya Bhata Pujayata Bodhipadeva Rupastam Karma Shakshya Vinam Yavat Karma Samadhisya Tavattam Sishiro. Om Bhurvasvam Jagdish Kretasya Dipam Samarpayami Om Brahmanasya Upanasik Bahurajanya Haretaham Uru Tadasya Vaishya Pargyagosya Shiro Ajayata Om Bhurvasvam Jagdish Kretasya Dupam Samarpayami. You can sit there. And the sisters will be sitting here. Now, when we perform this kind of ceremony, we have to help our hair move. That was tradition back home long time ago. Even still they do. So let me take it to Yani Kante Mahapani, Janmantara Kutani, Tani Sarvani Rashyendi, Pitwa Pavatam Hare, Yani Kante Mahapani, Brahmahatya Vinasita, Keshan Yamishta Kishtan, Kasmat Keshan, Bham Yamno. Okay, now one for brother, if you can hold it like this. It is for me. It is for me. And this is for me. Just like that. Om Tachakshurdeva Hitam Purastat Chukramacharata Pashyema Shardaham Shatam Jivema Shardaham Shatapushmuyama Shardah Shatam Pabrahama Sardaham Shatamadina Shyama Shardah Shatam Bhuyasya Shardah Satata Om Granthi Devtabhyo Namah Om Tantu Devtabhyo Namah Om Yagno Pavitam Varman Pavitram Prajapatiriyat Sarjam Purastat Ayushya Magram Pratimam Shubram Yagnopavitam Balamastu Tejaham Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varinyam Bargo Devasya Dhimani Diyo Yonaha Prachodaya Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varinyam Bargo Devasya Dhimani Diyo Yonaha Prachodaya Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varinyam Bargo Devasya Dhimani Diyo Yonaha Prachodaya. You can do the same thing. So good morning and namaskar to everyone. My name is Kamlesh Shukla and I am going to perform the funeral rites here today. We all know that the death is an inevitable truth. Whoever is born is going to die. Nobody can escape from the death. And absolutely, there is no exception to this universal truth. But easier said than done. When it happens in our family, it's very, very difficult to accept this truth. Mr. Jagdish Rai's untimely death, I say untimely, because parents however old are they, even if they are 150 years old, their death is always untimely because there is only one father and one mother in life. So Mr. Jagdish Rai's untimely death has resulted into a lot of grief, shock, emotional stress, feeling of helplessness and hopelessness in their family. In Sanatan Dharma, the last rites are very important facets of human life, and it is being performed in a proper way in order to provide a peace to the departed soul. Unbearable pain and loss the family has is never going to be recouped. There is an absolute vacuum in your family. This loss is never going to be fulfilled, but we can try to prepare you, bear the loss by lessening the intensity of the grief to some extent. It is written in all ancient religious scriptures that the properly performed last rites provide a peace to departed soul and solace to the relatives. We will have puja in English. Of course, the Sanskrit version is not going to be changed. And it seems like I don't have to say that, please do not talk, because it seems like that everybody is well understood and cultured. So we will start with Gayatri Mantra and recite it 3 times. Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. If you can take a spoon of before that, this one. It goes in your little finger really. If it doesn't fit, then you can put it in the pocket. Om Pavitroste Vaishnavyosu Saviturvah Prasavata Punyamya Chidrena Pavitrena Suryasya Rashmibihi Pavitra Pratya Pavitra Pratasayat Kamaha Pune Tachateyam. Take a spoon of water. If you can touch your hand to each other. No, you can touch your hand, right hand. No. Your right hand, your right hand. No, your right hand, right hand. Om Atradya Mahamangalya Punya Pavitra Masa Tami Masi Falgun Masi Krishna Pakshe Shaktamyam Titho Sanivasari Yatha Vartaman Nakshatra Muhurta Sanvaye Evam Brahmana Vishesham Vishesthayam Shubhapunya Titho. Do you know what a Gotra is? Gotra? Okay. Say Kashyapa. Gotra. Asmata. Pitu. Jagdish Raiji. Preto. Dahartham. Utkrantyadi. Pinda Pradanam. Aham. Karishya. Now, your journey goes like that in your right hand. And 6 times water goes on each leaf. Om Madhya Purvacharyam Gargana Vishesham Visheshtayam Shubhapunya Tithau Kashyap Putra Jagdish Preta Shav Nimittam Avne Janam Madattam Tavo Patishtatam. All 6 of them. You can do that. So when someone passes away in our family, in our Hinduism, totally we offer 6 pins like this before cremation. Because man has 5 senses, and for those 5 senses are given back to God. That's why 5 pins, that is 5 hours. Now Jagdish Rai came to this world, and he brought all of you. He brought all of you. Unfortunately, most tragically, he is leaving us. But the sweet memories he has with the families and the friends is going to carry with him. So 6 is for the 6 sweet memories, and 5 for the 5 senses. So suppose we are at Marcel's house, and before we go to Stoneham Cemetery, we offer the first pin at home. It is called so. Om Adya Purvacharyam Gargana Vishesham Visheshtayam Shubhapunya Tithau Kashyap Putrasya Jagdish Pretam Shav Nimittam Aveshati Pindah Madattam Stavo Patishtatam Kashyap Putram Jagdish Pretam Shav Nimittam Aveshati Pindah Madattam Stavo Patishtatam Kashyap Putram Jagdish Pretam Shav Nimittam Pindah Pratyam Janam Gandham पुष्पं व्यवस्थान तुलसी पत्रम धूपम दीपम नैवेद्यम मदत्तम तपोपतिष्ठताम. Now we are ready to go to crematory. We are ready to step out of the house. The grandson or granddaughter is carrying fire in a muddy earthen pot. And before we step out of your house, your main entrance, उसके चौखट पे दूसरे पिंड का दान करते हैं जिसका नाम है कृपान. और मध्य पूर्वोच्चार्य ब्रह्म विशेषण विशेषायम शुभपुण्य तिथो काश्यप गोत्रम जगदीश जी प्रेत द्वारदेशे पांथ निमित्तम अवनी जनम मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम. काश्यप गोत्र जगदीश जी प्रेत द्वारदेशे पांथ निमित्तम एषति पिंडः मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम. काश्यप गोत्रम जगदीश जी प्रेत द्वारदेशे पांथ निमित्तम पिंडे प्रत्येके जनम गंधम पुष्पम व्यवस्थान तुलसी पत्रम धूपम दीपम नैवेद्यम मदत्तम तपोपतिष्ठताम. So you can do the same thing once second one. So finally we are ready to step out of our house. Different regions have different traditions when we step out of the house and when we go to Smasan. कहीं पे राम नाम सत्य बोलते हैं, कहीं पे श्री राम बोलते हैं. So when I say राम नाम सत्य है, you understand? You can speak in not at all. Okay, so I will recite it. राम नाम सत्य है, 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 राम नाम सत्य है. In this way, reciting God's name, we proceed to Smasan crematory. Now once we pass your street, society, mohalla, whatever we call, and go to the main street, where there is an intersection, 3 or 4 crossroads. Over there we place him and offer the third pin. It is called Keja. O Madhya Purvacharya Garba Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubhapunya Titam Kashyap Gotra Jagdish Pretam Chatvari Keja Nimittam Avni Janam Madattam Tavopatishtatam. Kashyap Gotra Jagdish Pretam Chatvari Keja Nimittam Eshade Pindam Madattam Tavopatishtatam. Kashyap Gotra Jagdish Pretam Chatvari Keja Nimittam Pinde प्रत्यवनी जनम गंधम पुष्पम व्यवस्थान तुलसी पत्रम धूपम दीपम नैवेद्यम मदत्तम तपोपतिष्ठताम. So in those days, the ladies used to follow us up to this point, intersection. Now lighting up a deepak, ladies go back home, and only the man who approach crematory carry him on the shoulder, because it is written in Garuda Purana that Drutva Skande Sapita Ramyo Smasana Gachati. The meaning I can tell you, because the son or the daughter who carries his deceased father's or mother's body on the shoulder and walk to crematory always get the punya of Ashwamedh Yagna. Because during the life, the first obligation that he brought you into this world, and he did not just throw you away. He had a lot of sufferings. If he was okay, probably until like 1 month or something, he would also satisfy better. You can take my mass, I will use a handkerchief. Up to this point, he is ready to sacrifice for the children. So he did not just throw you away. He had a lot of sufferings bringing you up. How many times he asked you, told you, better, I can do with my old watch, you better use the new watch. You better use the brand new clothes and everything. Go to school, educate yourself. How many obligations? That obligations can never be fulfilled. So here too, when we get a chance, we want to lift him like this. If you cannot carry him shoulder, we will lift him and walk few hours there. So right now we are proceeding to Smasan in your answer tongue. Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 In this way, reciting God's name, we keep walking to Smasan crematory, and in every town or village, the distance between home and the crematory, in between, there is a center point which is called Vishramsthan, rest place. Over there we have to place it and offer the fourth pin called fourth. O Madhya Purvacharya Garba Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubhapunya Titam Kashyap Gotram Jagdish Ji Pretam Visrama Bhuttam Mittam Avni Janam Madattam Tavopatishtatam. Kashyap Gotra Jagdish Ji Pretam Visrama Bhuttam Mittam Pindeshati Pindam Madattam Tavopatishtatam. काश्यप पुत्र जगदीशची प्रेत विश्रांत भूत निमित्तं पिंडे प्रत्योनिधनं गंधं पुष्पं दिवसतं तुलसीपत्रं धूपं दीपं नैवेद्यं मनस्थं तवोपतिष्ठितं. So if we are going this way, his head was heading until now, up to this point. Now the head will go on the back side and the legs will lead. And once again we are on our way to Smasana. Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 In this way we reached the crematory. Now the Bhumi place where it used to be cremated, they used to clean with water. How many of you understand Hindi? Little bit? Not at all? Not few words? Okay, no problem. So it's little funny for you, but use the water, Ganga Jal, holy water, and sorry to say that, but that's a tradition because cow is very holy for us. So using cow urine and cow dung, they used to make a floor which is called Bhumi place. Symbolically what we can do, we are going to do here. This is cow urine and cow dung. We are making a Bhumi. So Yamadut do not enter and Brahma Vishnu Mahesh themselves come to get it. Om Bhurasi Bhumirasya Titirasi Vishwadhaya Vishwasya Bhuvanasya Datte Prithivim Yacha Prithivim Drunam Prithivim Mahinsi. Om Prithivitaya Jita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnunajita Tvam Chadare Devi Pavitram Kurchasanam. Om Bhurvasva Bhuminam Samukhyata Gandam Pushpamakshatan Samarpayami. Om Idama Prabhavata Madhyam Chamadam Chayatam Yacha Vidrudrohan Rutam Yacha Shekhe Abhinunam Apoma Tasmadena Sahapavamanascha Munchatu. Om Bhurvasva Bhuminam Samukhyata Pratna Bhutam Namaskaram Samarpayami. Now the Bhumi is ready, the place is ready. Now we have to make a paya. Using sandalwood, samidas and everything, we made paya back home. So this is a symbolic chita, paya. Om Samito Anjana Trataram Matinam Tratamatni Madhumatpingamanam Vajivan Vajinam Jatavedu Devanam Vaksipriyamam Sajastam Om Apeto Yantu Panayo Sumna Devapiya Bhaksya Lokah Sutavataham Divbiraho Biraktu Bivektam Yamum Dadatva Vasanamasmi. Now Chitta is really Paya. At Paya place, we offer the fifth pay called Vayam. Om Adya Parvacharya Yam Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubhapunya Ditham Kashyap Gotram Jagdish Pretam Chittastam Vayam Avni Janam Madattam Tavopatishtatam Kashyap Gotram Jagdish Preta Chittastam Vayam Eshati Pindah Madattam Stavopatishtatam Kashyap Gotram Jagdish Preta Chittastam Vayam Pinde Pratyavni Janam Gandam Puspam Yavakshatam Tulsipatram Dhupam Dipam Naivedyam Madattam Tavopatishtatam Kesari Saminatha Guru Govinda Partipurishwara Jaya Govinda Prashanti Nilayam Radhe Govinda Sri Guru Jaya Guru Vithala Govinda Vithala 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 Govinda Sri Guru Jaya Guru Vithala Govinda. The sixth sweet is one sweet memories. Om Adya Purvacharya Yam Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubhapunya Kashyap Gotram Jagdish Pretam Saurasya Sadat Nimittam Avni Janam Madattam Tavopatishtatam Kashyap Gotra Jagdish Preta Saurasya Sadat Nimittam Eshati Pindah Madattam Stavopatishtatam Kashyap Gotram Jagdish Preta Saurasya Sadat Nimittam Pinde Pratyavni Janam Gandam Pushpam Yavakshatam Tulsipatram Dhupam Dipam Naivedyam Madattam Tavopatishtatam. If you can take a spoon of water and repeat what I say, Anena Pinda Dhanena Kashyapa अस्मतः पितुः जगदीश जी प्रेतः सद्गति उत्तम लोक प्राप्ति ओम वंशविद्य के स्पुनः ओम मध्य पूर्वचर्यम ब्रह्म विशेषण विशेषायम च बहुनितरो काश्यप पत्र जगदीश जी प्रेतः दाहार्थम कपालं सिद्ध्यर्थम अज्येन समस्त व्याहृत प्रायश्चित होमं करिष्ये वपुस्ते now the grandson or sons who are carrying fire in a matki earthen pot. That fire needs some offerings. So we are going to light up that fire here again. Om Agni Duktam Puro Dade Havyavavaham Pabruve Devam Asadayadiham Om Chatvari Sunga Prayotasya Padadve Sitse Saptahastaso Asya Tridapato Rukhabo Raviti Mahodevu Martyam Abhivisha Om Agni Vaishwana Shantilya Siddhadevaniti Tripavanvi Om Yadmantaha Vavupitaham Mekhadvajan Brahmokam Samuko Bhavam Om Agnai Namaha Sarvopcharati Gandhadam Pushpabhakshatam Samarpayami. Now taking flour, butter and rice taken together. If you can touch it and place it here. And then Namaskar to Agni. Om Agni Pranarthim Vande Jagaveda Hudasanam Hiranyavardhamalam Samruddho Vishwato Mukham. Okay, now brother is going to help you with the butter. So, if you can hold this, it has a hole underneath that, inside the hole, spoon. And now, no, you can keep it here. And brother is going to offer more little like it has to keep dipping constantly. If it overflows, don't worry. Om Prajapataye Swaha Idam Prajapataye Namaha. Om Indraye Swaha Idam Indraye Namaha. Om Agnaye Swaha Idam Agnaye Namaha. Om Somaye Swaha Idam Somaye Namaha. Om Vishnave Swaha Idam Vishnave Namaha. Om Brahmane Swaha Idam Brahmane Namaha. Om Brahmahatyaya Swaha Idam Brahmahatyaya Namaha. Om Medobhyah Swaha Idam Medobhyah Namaha. Om Mausibhyah Swaha Idam Mausibhyah Namaha. Om Snayibhyah Swaha Idam Snayibhyah Namaha. Om Astibhyah Swaha Idam Astibhyah Namaha. Om Majabhyah Swaha Idam Majabhyah Namaha. Om Redase Swaha Idam Redase Namaha. Om Payave Swaha Idam Payave Namaha. Om Ayasai Swaha Idam Ayasai Namaha. Om Prayasai Swaha Idam Prayasai Namaha. Om Vyasai Swaha Idam Vyasai Namaha. Om Udyasai Swaha Idam Udyasai Namaha. Om Suche Swaha Idam Suche Namaha. Om Sujate Swaha Idam Sujate Namaha. Om Sujmanai Swaha Idam Sujmanai Namaha. Om Sokai Swaha Idam Sokai Namaha. Om Tapsai Swaha Idam Tapsai Namaha. Om Tapyate Swaha Idam Tapyate Namaha. Om Taptamanai Swaha Idam Taptamanai Namaha. Om Taptai Swaha Idam Taptai Namaha. Om Taptai Swaha Idam Taptai Namaha. Om Dharmai Swaha Idam Dharmai Namaha. Om Nistute Swaha Idam Nistute Namaha. Om Prasthite Swaha Idam Prasthite Namaha. Om Vaishatai Swaha Idam Vaishatai Namaha. Om Yamai Swaha Idam Yamai Namaha. Om Antakai Swaha Idam Antakai Namaha. Om Mrityave Swaha Idam Mrityave Namaha. Om Brahmane Swaha Idam Brahmane Namaha. Om Brahmahatyaya Swaha Idam Brahmahatyaya Namaha. Om Vishwabhya Devibhya Swaha Idam Vishwabhya Devibhya Namaha. Om Dhyaptyabhyam Swaha Idam Dhyaptyabhyam Namaha. Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Swaha Idam Prajapataye Namaha. Now taking these and these together, if you can offer it inside the butter. Om Kravyagadana Samuchat Tirashatan Samarpayami. Om Aswattomadijato Sitodayam Yayatam Punakaso Swargai Lokaya Swam Jalato Parvati. Om Bhurvuvah Swaha Swaha Idam Prajapataye Namaha. Now we need to go back. We need to go back. कि गोविंद कृष्ण जय गोपाल कृष्ण जय गोपाल लाल बाल राधा कृष्ण जय गोविंद कृष्ण जय गोपाल कृष्ण जय गोपाल लाल बाल राधा कृष्ण जय कृष्ण जय कृष्ण जय कृष्ण जय. You can hold it from this side. Two of you. And you can hold it from this side. And then we are going to cover him, but face has to be open. Om tasmat adnat sarvabhutah sampratam prakaradyam pasunstham chakre vahayavyananya gramyamshchaya. Om bhurvasvam jagdish preta vastram samarpayami. Om shevantika mapulchamka bhandalabje. पुण्यगजाति करवीर स्थल पुष्पै बिल्व प्रवाल तुलसी दल महलती बे स्वम पूजयाम जगदीश्वरम इंद्रशीलम. ओम भूर्भुवस्वं जगदीश प्रेत पुष्पमालां समर्पयामि. Grandsons, please come here. Any grandsons or granddaughters? Okay, beta, you need to balance this. If you can carry one of the thread is not balancing. So if you can hold it like this, it will be balanced. Fire has to be on. And now counterclockwise 4 times circling around grandpa. Okay, all of you can follow her. Om apohishthamayo bhuvasthanamurje dadhatanaham mahiranaya chakshase ovasivatam rasasya bhajayate hanaham ushati nivamanpura tasmaharangamahamamo yasyasya vaya jindvatam apojanayata janaham. Om saptasyasan paridaya sri saptasavidah kritah देवाय नंदनवाहन अबद्धन मुखन पशुन यानि कानि पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि सर्वाणि नश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणां पदे पदे. ओम हरि ओम नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवपुतोत ईखवे बाहुभ्यां गते नमः. जाते रुद्रा शिवा तत्र घोरा पापकाशिनी दयानस्तत्वा शन्तमया गिरिशुद्धा विचारशिः. ओम करचरणकृतं कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणं वा मानसमापराधं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व. जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शम्भो. ओम त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनं उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनं मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्रायुकं जमदग्नेः पश्य पश्य त्रायुकं यद्देवे पुत्रायुकं तन्नो अस्तु त्रायुकं. Here for 5 minutes we need to stand up. Now your grandparents, whoever passed away in our family, your grandfather, great grandfather, great grandfather, and their wives, even maternal side. If you don't remember them, that's okay. Just remember them, and we are going to pay homage to them. Om Brahmastam Paryantam Devarsi Pitrumanava Trupyantu Pitaras Sarve Matrumata Mahadaya Atita Pura Kotinam Saptadepanivasinim Abrahma Bonamuka Didamastu Tirodakam Ye Bandava Ye Janmani Bandava Tisartuti Mayam to Mayadattena Vaharinam Yeke Jasmat Kule Jata Aputra Gotranoktam Te Grantu Mayadattam Vastranspinanodakam. Om Brahma Jagannam Pratamam Purastad Dveksimati Sujyo Vena Avah Subhutnya Upama Asya Vishta Satasya Yoni Masatasya Vivaham. Om Brahmani Namaha Pratna Purukam Namaskaran Samsarpanami. Om Idam Vishnu Vichakrami Dedani Param Samundam Sivaku Sureswaram. Om Vishnavama Pratna Purukam Namaskaran Samarpayami. Om Hari Om Namaste Rudramanya Vavutota Ikhaviva Ubhyamtate Namah. जाते रुद्राशिवातमुग्रघोरा पापकाशिनी दयानस्तन्वा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ता विचारशशि. ओम रुद्राय नमः प्रार्थनापूर्वकं नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि. Om Yamaya Pangiraswati Pitrumate Swaha Swaha Dharmaya Swaha Dharma Pitre. Om Yamaya Namah Pratna Prabhu Namaskaram Samarpayami. Om Preta Jayata Nara Indro Vah Sharma Jachatugra Vah Santu Bhavuna Drakhyayata Satam. Om Tatpurushaya Namah Pratna Prabhu Namaskaram Samarpayami. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunvanti Devestavai Veda Sangha Padakramo Panisadai Gayantiyam Sangha Dhyana Vasita Tadagatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yogino Yashyantana Vidvitu Sura Suradana Devayata Smai Namah Prutva Sudustaram Karma Janata Vapya Janata Pratyukala Vashamdhatvam Naram Pajatvam Agatam Dharma Dharma Samayuktam Lopamoha Samahritam Dahiyam Sarvagatrani Divyam Lokan Sagacchatu Om Dyo Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prathivi Shanti Rapah Shanti Kataya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishve Deva Shanti Dhamma Shanti Sarvagum Shanti Shanti Deva Shanti Sama Shanti Redi Sami Hase Tato Pavayambu Shanna Pradavyo Bhayanna Pasubhyahan Om Shanti 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 Sushanti Bhavatu. So we gave him like Agni. Now if we can do that over there, that's fine. Here we are allowed to do that. So definitely we will do that. But at some places they do not even let us open the casket. But we need our Agni Sanskar with it all. And at this point, we will have Omkar reciting Om 3 times, stretching it. And then in his honor, with this as honors, we will have a moment of silence. Very holy, religious soul. First of all, the chance that you give me to do the puja, I'm very thankful to all of you. And during the puja, the way you participate, observe the silence and cooperated, that, I am very obliged to you. I do namaskar to everybody. Please take the chair. About 5 minutes work is still left. So when this namaskar is done, we collect ash. So symbolically, if you can take this stick and take it and put it back. Om aswatthomati jakosi kodayam jayatam punah asoswargaya lokaya swaha jalatu padate. Om bhur bhuvah swaha swaha idam prajapataye namaha. One spoon of ghee is offered on the pile. Om bhur bhuvah swaha swaha idam prajapataye namaha. Okay, now Dr. Stephen, Dr. Stephen, take the chair. And now this time we are going to clockwise. We can continue. You can stand. So brother, son, oldest sister, you are keeping this on the left shoulder. And then, watch me. This time we are going clockwise. When you go by the feet, 3 of them, one by one. One person will do 2 times, and then you can go to 1 time. Milk is sprinkled on his feet, and then finish the circle. This is called pacifying fire. So you can do 2 times and they will do 1 time each. Good. Om Adya Purvacharya Gurgana Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubhapunya Titho Kashyap Gotra Jagdish Predam Chitadaha Upasmanarthamcha Dahajan Pida Upasmanarthamcha Ida Pudakan Jagiste Upatishtanam Om Adya Sambrata Pratibhira Satya Vishwakarmana Samavartata Tasya Tashtami Dadrupame Titanmar Tasya Jivatva Janamakre Om Vedahame Tampurukam Mahantamanityavarna Tamasah Parastaham Tamiru Vidvati Vanamatnanya Bantha Vidyate Yanaya Cotex Om Prajapati Satyagarbantara Mahanupauda Vijayate Tasya Jyomim Paripashyanti Dinastasmin Tasya Bhuvanani Vishwam Om Jyodevi Vyokatapatai Jyodivana Purohitahan Purvo Jyotivibhyo Jato Namo Jaya Brahma Om Racham Brahmyan Janayanto Deva Agritada Brahmanam Jastaikam Brahmana Vidyatasya Deva Asanvase Om Sri Sachate Lakshmishya Patna Mahoratre Parashvi Nakshatrani Mopapasno Yaktam Vishnandani Khana Mamai Khana Savalokam Khana. Back home, we drop it on the floor and break it. We can do that. So immediately we are throwing and then it's automatically going to break inside there. Now, needless to say, you are going to apologize in case you hurt him sometimes in the life. But if you say a couple of words in your mind, you can say anything like that. If we deserve you, if we are worthy to you, we want to be your children once again in your next birth, if possible. And then you can say anything if you want to say anything. And here, after having a message, I will hand over to family, and then we will start offering the flowers and everything. So, Mr. Jindal is leaving us, unfortunately. And before he leaves, he wants to talk to God. And then he says a couple of words to us. What he talks to God is, O most merciful God, I repent for all my sins. Now, we are human beings. We all do sins, like sometimes we kill ant or a mosquito or anything. It's a sin. So, he may not have committed any other sins, but he himself is talking to God. For every thought that was false or unjust, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed that should not have been done, I repent for every deed, word and thought, inspired by selfishness or hatred or lust. I repent for every lustful action and thought, for any lie, for any hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for any slander or backbiting. I repent for every action, deed or thought or word that pained or harmed others. In your unbounded mercy, I ask you to forgive me for all my sins. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and yet more, till we are worthy of union with you And last but not least, he says to God, "Oh God, please forgive me and my family for our constant failure to think, speak and act according to your will." And now he says a couple of words to us. He thanks us first, saying that I'm very happy you are here on my last exit or departure from this world. Those who couldn't make it, I understand. And further says that if during the life, if I hurt you, I apologize. In case you hurt me, you already have my forgiveness. He wants you to carry on the legacy, the culture and the value of the families. He wants you to be very happy, healthy and prosperous in all the areas of your life. He says that I'm not going to be with you directly, but I will be always there indirectly and I will protect you. Subham bhavatu, kalyanastu, arogyamastu, aishwaryastu, shantirastu, tushti-rastu, dhanadhanada samriddhi-rastu, Hari Om, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And now I hand over to Jindal family, the uncles or anybody who wants to say a few words or wants to share the memory. Mr. Jindal, you can come here. The microphone is here.
You'll have to excuse me, I'll try and get through this without my voice cracking like an adolescent boy. Jagdish was a tremendous help to me when I first came to the US in 2010. I think we shared a lot of similarities. We were both in our mid-30s, and we both found this place a surreal country. He did use some more colourful adjectives. As we're in polite company today, I will keep those between him and I. He helped me in some pretty prosaic ways. He co-signed a car for me. He introduced me to his accountant, which I think was in the Crafty Buzzard master plan, because 10 years later I ended up doing his taxes for him with that accountant. But he also helped me in those first 3 or 4 months. We spent a lot of time together, just him and I, going out for dinner, having a cup of tea, watching the cricket from time to time. And it was often not his words that soothed my fevered mind or my troubled soul, but just the way he spoke, the kindness in his intonations of his words, and the purity and the goodness, the way he looked at you. It was a tremendous help to me. And I told him that on Thursday. He was asleep. And I'll always regret not telling him earlier. And I guess everyone in this room and everyone watching this stream will share some kind of regret of not sharing something with him that they wanted to say. But I guess, in a way, that's how we heal ourselves in this cruelest twist of the circle of life. And how we heal is we keep his memory alive. We keep his legacy alive. And it won't be easy, because this man lived his life with the highest level of integrity. He treated his friends and family with the purest kind of compassion and respect. So it won't be easy, but we should all try and do it. Keep his memory alive. And we'll all face moral dilemmas in the days to come, professional conundrums. And I can guarantee you it will help us all to invoke the spirit of this man when we have those hard decisions to make. And I can also guarantee you, 10 minutes later, he'll appear on that shoulder or that shoulder and tell you you should have done it like this. So here's to you, JJ. Go well. In August, I'll be at Headingley watching the cricket with my dad, watching India play England. And let's see how Mr. Coney does on a green and seaming wicket.
All right, let's see if we can keep it together. I just want to say thank you to everyone that came. I know this year has been really difficult for everyone, and we haven't been able to spend time with anyone. But I know how much you guys love my dad, just as much as we did. And I know everyone that's watching and everyone at home in India, I'm so sorry that we can't all be together, but we will soon. And it's been a rough couple of weeks, couple of months. But, you know, over the last few days, I've had so many messages from people I didn't even know, people that knew my dad, whether they were patients, or people that knew him professionally, or just casual people that had met my dad over the years. And they said the most beautiful things about him, which, you know, I always thought, like, okay, we know how great he is because he's our family and he's always treated us so well. But just to hear people that were almost complete strangers, I'll share one just because it stands out in my mind. It was a classmate of mine when I was in maybe 4th or 5th grade. He grew up later in life to become a drug sales rep, and he had the great fortune or misfortune of visiting my dad at his office regularly. And he sent me the most beautiful message, and he just said that he'll never forget. As busy as my dad was, he always took time to talk to him, and not just about whatever drug he was selling, but they would talk about travel, and they would talk about food and cooking, which I think we all know are some of my dad's favorite things. But there were just, you know, so many common things that I heard through these messages, and I think most people just commented on his kindness and his compassion and his patience and his just love for people. I mean, you know, he would give anyone anything. The last $5 in his wallet, he'd take his shirt off on the street and give it to you if you asked him for it. I mean, and that's just how he was, and that's how he treated us our whole lives. And I hope everybody, you know, has their own little memory of that, something, you know, that my dad did for them that was so much a part of his character. And there was one other thing that kept coming back, you know, that conversation after conversation and message after message, and we were talking about it the other night, and we had a little giggle about it, was how he was always impeccably dressed. He always looked so handsome, he always smelled so nice, and the biggest thing he complained about over this last couple of weeks was that we didn't take him for a haircut. So, we tried. But I just want you guys to know how important it is and how much it supports us that you were able to be here today, because I know that you love Dad as much as we love Dad. And we'll never forget him, and now we figure out how life goes on without him, because I just don't even know what that looks like. But we take it one day at a time and we do it together. So thank you, and love to everyone, honestly. And we're very much looking forward to being in India soon with the rest of the family, and Ribu and Tanu. I know you're close, but you're so far, and hopefully we'll see you in India as well. So love to everybody, and thank you so much for being here.
So I just wanted to share just a couple sort of examples of my father, and just how inherently he was just such a good man. And one thing I can always remember, and I know all three of you can attest to this, was how often some random stranger would grab me in a food store, bump into me at the gas station, and somehow they knew who I was, and they would stop and tell me how great of a man my father was. And it wasn't just, it could have been medicine, it just could have been, you know, a basic interaction, but I can honestly think in my lifetime, at least a dozen times that happened to me. And if we can live our lives a tenth of the way that he lived his, the world be a much better place. And I just want to say to everyone that's back home in India, I wish you guys could all be here. I'm thankful for technology and the fact that we can stream. I know you're all watching, and we're really looking forward to getting him home and being with all of you. So just keep strong, and we'll all get through this.
I don't really know what to say because I didn't think I'd have to speak in front of everybody. I just want to say that, sorry, it's been an absolute privilege to be his daughter. And I feel very lucky that he got to spend the last 8 or 9 months living in my home and really getting to know my husband and my children, and we just had so much fun, and I feel like they got to know him like I knew him when I was young. And just for them to be able to see how wonderful he was and how selfless he was, and hopefully they'll take that away and always carry that through their lives. And I just feel privileged to have been able to take care of him and have tea with him every morning and cook with him, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do. He like a couple of months ago, we were just sitting chatting, and he was saying how he's going to hell because he's living in my house. And that would never happen. That would not fly in India. And I couldn't understand that. I said, what do you mean that? I've always told you, I want you with me. I want to take care of. Oh, no. That would never happen. He said, if you lived in another city and I came to visit you, we'd have to stay in a hotel. And I just didn't understand that, because it was truly a privilege to be with him. And we know that he's just going to be around us and with us. And I just want to say, I love you. I'll never forget you. And just thank you for being my dad. That's it.
So it seems like everybody's got memories of my father, and we've been reminiscing a lot over the past couple of weeks, especially over the recent days. And one of the great memories that I have, which was always impressing about my father, was his intelligence and how smart he was. He wanted to have a guys' night, which started at 1 in the afternoon. Freddie and I had to organize having all my buddies over at his house so he could cook us all dinner. And in that circle of friends, there's a very, very, very successful financial person, some successful salespeople and businessmen, a very successful IT person, another very successful physician, and just an engineer. And it was awesome to see how everyone at that table was wrong. He was an expert at a lot of things, and he believed in his intelligence. And I hope that that has rubbed off on me and my siblings, because anytime we all talk together, it's always amazing how smart we all are. But it was great watching him argue about computers and finance and medicine and construction and building things with Freddie. And everybody was wrong. He knew he was right. Some people say they argued a lot, but he was one of the greatest a person that I will ever know that would always win an argument. And throughout my reflecting and everything that I've gone through in my life, you know, I wanted to really identify what what I took from him. And watching his last few days, his fight, is something that I know I have, and it came from him. Most of you know my health and stuff like that, and I just have this don't give up attitude, and I guess I know now where that comes from. And I think the other thing is my stubbornness, right? Notice how Tracy's laughing. Never backing down. And I think the last thing I'll say is this: I'm always right. No, I'm just kidding. He's always right. So I was just sharing that little bit of a memory because that day, our guys' night almost went into the night. He didn't want us to leave. And he actually drank a teeny bit of scotch that day. He tried to smoke a cigar. He didn't understand why we liked such a disgusting, filthy habit. But it was just a good memory, and it was nice to see him with the guys, and you know, enjoying being a man and arguing with people and just having that banter. So I thought I'd share that memory with all of you, because during his last days, I witnessed him fight hard, and he's a fighter. Thank you.
Anybody else who wants to say a few words or share the memories? If not, then we will start offering flowers. Alex is keeping the flowers there, so everybody can come here one by one. And then taking flowers as if I am taking here, and then circling around Mr. Jindal. You can offer him the flowers, and you can take your chair back. In the meantime, I am reciting Bhagavad Gita's 12th and 15th chapter. We can start from here. Thank you, Alex. Evam satatayotam bhaktasvam paryupasate ye japyaksharam avyaktam tesham keyukavittama. And then you can take the chair back. Everybody, one by one at a time. Atadvarasodyaya evam satatayuktam ye bhaktasvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham keyukavittama. Sri Bhagavan Vacha maya visya manayam nityayukta upasate sraddhaya parayopitasthi me yukta tamamataha yekvaksharam anindeshya avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra tamachintyam ja kutastham achalam dhruvam sanniyendriyagranam sarvatra samabuddhaya Viprapnumanti mamiva sarvabhota hikerataham kalesho diktarastesham avyaktasaktachetasam avyaktani katillukham dehavarviravavyate. We can do like this. Take the flowers. Finish the circling like that, holding. And then when you finish the circling here, you can offer. And then go back to your chair. You can do namaskar there. ये तो सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि त्वत्सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरः भवामि न चिरत्पार्थः मय्यावेशितचेतसां मय्येव मन आदस्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अथ पूर्णं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोग्यं तत्तु मामिच्छन्तु धनञ्जय अभ्यासेभ्य समर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भवः मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिं वपस्यसि अतीतदप्यशक्तोषी कर्तुमद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. Please, not anti-clockwise, clockwise, please. Only clockwise. Clockwise. If we do anti-clockwise, that means we are holding him, which is against the ritual. Sorry to say that. Only the sun does that for the fire. अतीतदप्यशक्तोषी कर्तुमद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते. ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागस्यागच्छन्ति अनन्तरम्. अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकर्म एव च. निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखः सुखक्षमः सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यथात्मा दृढनिश्चयः. मय्यर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः समेप्रियः. यस्मान्नो विजते लोको लोकान्नो विजते जयः. हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः. अनपेक्षश्चिद्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः. सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः. यो न रुष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति. शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् मे समे प्रियः. समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः. शीतोष्णो सुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः. तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्. अनिकेतस्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः. ये तु धर्म्यामृतं वीदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते. श्रद्धानामतपरं भक्तास्तेन मे प्रियः. इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगनाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः. पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः. श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधःशाखमश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ये. छिन्नांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. अधःस्वचोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखाः. गुणाः प्रवृद्धा विषयप्रभाः. अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्माणि बन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके. न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते. नान्तो न चादिं न च सम्प्रतिष्ठम्. अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलमसङ्गशस्त्रेण दलेन चित्वा. तत्पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गताः निवर्तन्ते भूयः. तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणी. निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषान् अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः. विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसमये लक्ष्यन्तमूढा पदमव्ययं तत्. न तर्काशयते सूर्यो न शशङ्को न पावकः. यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तत्र परमं. ममेवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः. मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति. सर्वनिर्वाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्तरमतीश्वरम्. गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुं गन्धानि वासयत्. श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च. अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते. उत्क्रामन्तं सितं वापि पूजानं वा गुणान्वितं. विमूढाः पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः. यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यामन्यवसतं. यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्त चेतसः. यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलं. यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्यमानः. गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा. पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्वान् सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः. अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः. प्राणापानसमायुक्तं पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं. सर्वस्य चाहं प्रतिशन्निविष्टो. मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोगनं च वैश्च शरणैरहमेव विद्यो. वेदान्तकृद्धेदविधेयचारं. गायं पुरुषो लोके क्षरश्चक्षर एव च. क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कुटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते. उत्तमं पुरुषस्त्वन्यं परमात्मेत्युदाहृतम्. यो लोकत्रयमविश्य विभर्त्य वय ईश्वरं यस्मादक्षरमतीतोऽहं मत्सरादविच्युतम् अतोऽस्मि लोकवेदे च प्रथमतः पुरुषोत्तमं यो मामेवं सम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविदमस्ति मां सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रमिदं मुक्तमया नघं यत्र प्रत्यवृत्तिमानसा कृतकृतश्च भारत इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे कृष्णार्जुनसंवादे पुरुषोत्तम नाम पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः. Okay, sons and daughters, we can go by there. Om Gratam Mimikshe Gratamashya Jyomigrate Shito Gratam Namasya Dham Anupatama Vahamadaya Siswara Gratam Rekamo Bakshito Yamman, little bit of rice. And then a little bit of the head. And the rest of the butter ghee, if you can offer it all over the body one by one. Om Gratam Mimikshe Gratamashya Jyomigrate Shito Gratam Namasya Dham Om Bhurvasvaha Jagdish Pretaha Gratam Samarpayami. All the gifts can be offered, but it can be offered too. Yeah, all of it. Grandkids, you can come forward and spare few moments, last few moments. So, at this point, if somebody can say prayers in Christianity, we can, yeah, if you can do prayers in Christianity here, like when we, what you say, like have a burial ceremony, anybody can recite here?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Now, if they are ready, we will be living soon. And the granddaughters, how many of you are there? 1, 2, 3? Two. So one of you is going to carry this in front with me, and the second one is going to carry this in the back, like behind the grandpa. But we are waiting, like we don't know if they are ready or not. Hey Nath Jodi Haath Paaye Premati Saumagiye Sharanu Made Sachum Tamaru He Hridayati Magiye Je Jiva Aamyo Aap Paase Charanama Apna Vaju Paramatmaye Atmane Santi Sachi Apaju Vadi Karmana Yoge Karije Kudamae Avatare ત્યાં પૂર્ણ પ્રેમે ઓ પ્રભુજી આપની ભક્તિ કરે લખ 84 બંધનોને લક્ષ્યમાં લઈ કાપજો પરમાત્માએ આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. We can offer the rest of the class. સુખ સંપત્તિ સુવિચારની સત્કર્મનો લઈ વારસો જન્મો જન્મ સત્સંગતિ કીર્તાર પાર ઉતારજો આ લોકની પરલોકમાં તવ પ્રેમ રગ રગ વ્યાપજો પરમાત્માએ આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. मणिमोक्षते सुखस्वर्गन आशापुरे विनति युदेहदुर्लभमानवीनो भजन कर्मा भावति साचुं बतामि रूप श्रीरण छोड़ हृदय स्थापय परमात्माए आत्माने शांति साची आपजो मणिमोक्षते सुख स्वर्गन आशा पुरे विनति देह दुर्लभ मानवीनो भजन करवा भवति साचु बतामि रूप श्री गणेश हृदय स्थापयो परमात्माने आत्माने शांति साची आपजो परमात्माए आत्माने शांति साची आपजो परमात्माए आत्माने शांति साची आपजो. We'll be ready in a few minutes. And on behalf of the Jindal family, we are very thankful. Thank you, Alex, for your kind services. Thank you very much. And thank you, sir, for your services.
So in a moment, when you're ready, we can place the flowers in the casket if you'd like. If you don't want to, that's fine too. We'll bring Dad down the hall. Everyone is welcome to follow. We'll be able to continue with the cremation portion of the service at that point. Okay, so in a few moments, we will open the doors and we'll proceed down the hall.
So once first we are going to roll him out. He goes out first, and from that point, we all are about 8 people are going to lift him, not necessarily on the shoulder, if it, but the height, because of the different height. So we can lift him from the handle. No, he's much taller than I. So you can put all the flowers. So,
Not this one, James. You want this?
so when we step out, when we can roll him, when he goes out first, and from there we are going to lift him from the handle and walk few yards there, and we can all going there. I think inside there, only 8 people are allowed. I don't know, that's right, 8 people inside there.
Everyone is fine. It's fine. Everybody can come. Inside, 8 to 10, but everyone else can remain in the fire.
So, we will roll him out first. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. You can come with. Ram Naam Satya Hai, 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 Ram Naam Satya Hai. Okay, from this point,
There's the casket.
8 people are going to leave.
And then we're gonna pause and wait for the other gentleman to come forward to help you.
Anybody else who can give hand?
So do we have anyone else, or is everyone here? Okay, we'll wait.
And then Alex is going to pull the cart.
Yes, we're gonna lift on 3, and then don't move for a minute, so I can take the platform out from underneath, all right? 1, 2, 3, lift.
Ram Naam Satya Hai, 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 Satya Hai, 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 Satya Hai. Now, turn around. Let's put it forward. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. Now you're there. That's it. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai. Watch your hands. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai. Grandmother, you can walk in the front of 1 second. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai. We can keep rolling. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai. 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 राम नाम सत्य है, सत्य है, सत्य है। 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 Once again, brothers and sisters, carry these 4 times counterclockwise circle around the disk. 4 times. इधर हो चलिए, balance it. 4 times. वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुण शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि यतः स्वमिन्हसे ततो नो अभयं पुरुषन्नः पुरुषजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः ॐ शान्तिः 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 सुशान्तिर्भवतु। It's up to you. This is traumatic. Will you be able to do this?
Sure.
Grandkids will be able to say this, or you can turn around the waist. It's very traumatic. Very good place of attack.
Do you want that?
Both the brothers touch your hand to each other. Hold this. Both the brothers hold this. Hold this. Okay, now you put it by arms. And then turn around. Turn around now. Turn around. Leave it there. Leave it there. Okay. And now you can see that. If you can place this here, put it here. And your journey comes out that you are wearing this. It comes out. Brother, yours too. And then lamp also goes in there. And now we can pay final respect, final pranam to Allah. Okay, so we are ready.
Okay.
Sri Rama.
At this point, we're going to bring Dad in through these double doors. To witness the cremation, you'll be able to go in through the next open door. The button to start the cremation is in that room as well. Okay?
Sri Rama. Sri Rama. Sri Rama. Sri Rama. Sri Rama. Sri Rama. You will open only few seconds.
You all can go over there, so you can watch from there.
ओम देवः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगों शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि यतो यतः समीहसे ततो न अभयं कुरुषन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो वयन्नः पशुभ्यः ओम शान्तिः 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 सुशान्तिर्भवतु. Do you want to sing a song that you used to like?
I don't know any about it.
You like to yawn?
And Nat King Cole.
Mrityunjayaya nama om Triambakaya nama om Lingeshwaraya nama om Saiswaraya nama om Om Namah Shivaya nama om Namah Shivaya nama om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama om Mrityunjayaya nama om Triyambakaya nama om Lingeshwaraya nama om Saiswaraya nama om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Mrityunjayaya nama om Triyambakaya nama om Lingeshwaraya nama om Saiswaraya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama. You can get a little closer because you won't be able to see there. We're going to open it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then begin the final. He really deserves a salute. So when they open, you can, if you want, you can do salute to him. Mrityunjayaya nama om Triyambakaya nama om Lingeshwaraya nama om Saiswaraya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Mrityunjayaya nama Triyambakaya nama Lingeshwaraya nama Saiswaraya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Mrityunjayaya nama Triyambakaya nama Lingeshwaraya nama Saiswaraya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Mrityunjayaya nama Triyambakaya nama Lingeshwaraya nama Saiswaraya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Mrityunjayaya nama Triyambakaya nama Lingeshwaraya nama Saiswaraya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Om Namah Shivaya nama Mrityunjayaya nama. Okay, now come, you can sleep in the corner there. Salami Amdo, you can salute him if you want.
So whenever you're ready, you can go back to the chapel. Sometimes this is a hard room to be in. So whenever you're ready, you can go back in the other room.